So our topic today is social. All right, let me share my screen. Okay. So our topic today is social life and friendships. My name is Shania Dorsey. I am a sophomore criminology major from Chicago.
My name is Alicia Sylvain. I am a junior sociology major, psychology minor from Brooklyn, New York.
Hey, I'm Jeffrey Miller. I am a junior criminology major from Gary, Indiana.
Hi everyone, my name is Sakna Fall. I am a junior criminology major, political science minor from New York.
Hey y'all, I'm Kayla. I'm a social criminology major, strategic legal management communications minor on a pre-law track from Brooklyn, New York.
And today we're going to be talking about social life, and it wouldn't be right to get off our presentation started if we didn't give a clear definition of social life. A person's social life consists of the various bonds they form with others, and such as like their family, friends, members of the community. It can be measured by both the duration and quality of social interactions they have on a regular basis, both in person and online. Social life is big on college campus because this social life kind of promotes a balance that you need to kind of have the full college experience that is raved about and talked about, and these social connections that you are making and these networks that you're connecting with. It brings a sense of peace and belonging and a sense of feeling at home while you're on campus. Your social life kind of keeps you at bay, really. Human beings are social animals, and the tenor of someone's social life is one of the most important influence on their mental and physical health. Social life, I can't stress this enough, social life is really important in keeping your mental and physical health at tip-top shape. I didn't know how much how much social life impacted my mental and physical health, but keeping people that's around you that can kind of understand and kind of actually understand and reach out in a way, since we're all going through the same thing, struggling with academics, struggling with keeping everything on pace. Having a social life and having a healthy social life promotes the best care for yourself and brings together a sense of community at your school. Benefits of a well-rounded social life. These are some of the ones that I listed and learned over my 3 years of college. People with friends have a sense of belonging and purpose, which is true. You feeling that you have someone you can accurately connect with brings a sense of hope and feeling, and gets you acclimated and comfortable within college. Friends support each other through tough times that we all experience. No matter, even though we are here to get our 4 years away and get our degrees, it doesn't shake the fact that we are human beings and we go through changes, we go through feelings and things that we experience every day that can be a little hard to go through. But with your social life and with these friendships and connections that you make, you won't have to go through anything alone and experience any of the downs, the ups and downs alone. Having somebody with you will always benefit you. They boost each other's feelings of self-worth. Stress levels are less when you have people who care about you and who laugh and cry with you. And friendships sharpen our minds, boost the immune system, and can help even extend our lives. The most important thing I can tell you is in this last bullet point, friendship sharpen our minds. It sharpens our minds not only in an intellectual aspect, but also in an emotional and mental aspect. Hearing about different things that can come from different people from all around the country, all around the world, it can bring in a new sense of relief and a new sense of actually becoming a well-rounded individual, not only in the intellectual aspect, but like I said, mental and emotional. Tips for a healthy social life. Understanding how to establish and maintain supportive connections in any medium is an essential part of college life. Really finding that medium, you're always gonna have to find that medium, which you're gonna see in the rest of these slides. There's always an emphasis on scheduling and planning and finding that base for you to stay on a healthy balance of schoolwork, social life. Because if one thing tips over, it gets too heavy on the other side, it can cause a balance and shift in your entire college experience. Reaching this healthy medium can benefit not only your social life, but also your mental and physical health. Can't stress enough how much friendships and social life benefits mental and physical health, because with these people around you, it almost gives you a sense of wanting to better yourself and gives you a sense of hope and freedom within your college experience. So from my 3 years, all I can really stress is spend your free time on campus, go to university events, join the extracurricular. Don't be afraid to reach out and explore the college experience, because you don't go to college once and you only get to experience these friends and these people that you meet once. Don't be afraid to reach out and get involved with your peers. Schedule and plan, like I said, that balancing medium. Schedule when you need to do your work. If you have papers due, if you have work due, schedule that. Give a list out to yourself. Always write down the planner or anything, and plan to go out with your friends. So don't stay cooped up in the house. Don't get burnt out, because if you get burnt out, ultimately you're weighing down yourself and not really fully experiencing that college life. Get uncomfortable. This is the number one thing I can say. Get uncomfortable. Don't be afraid or complacent. Don't get so cooped up in your shell, wrapped up in your own thoughts or anything, because with that, you stay uncomfortable in a way where you're not really. It takes growth. For growth, it takes you being able to get uncomfortable and getting out and doing things and seeing things that you never thought you would do yourself. And number one thing is believing in yourself. Believing in yourself, you can actually reach out and go into a different way or different space that wouldn't be really for you, but you never know what is for you until you accurately believe and accurately try and do your best.
Okay, so friendships. Friendships, they can enrich your life in many different ways. Good friends teach you about yourself and challenge you to become a better person, and they encourage you to keep going when times get tough and help you celebrate your successes. But friends do a lot more than just give you a shoulder to cry on. They're also positive. They also have a positive impact on your mental health. Within college, you'll meet many individuals and make different encounters with other people, and it is important to remember that these friendships will shape your entire college experience. Human beings are social animals, and we have been social for the majority of our lives. And friendship means having someone to rely on, listen to, or be there for in times of need. Friendships desire what is best for one another and express mutual understanding and compassion. Friendships also can have a major impact on your health and well-being, and it is not always easy to build or maintain friendships.
Now we will be discussing how to recognize toxic traits in friendships. Much like all other relationships, friendships must have trust, communication, honesty, and respect in order to work. There are various traits that you can use to identify whether or not a friendship is toxic, and you can recognize that by noticing certain behaviors in others. And these include, but aren't limited to, constantly judging you, spilling your secrets, jealousy or bitterness when it comes to discussing your accomplishments, and pressuring you into doing things you aren't comfortable with, and talking down to you, especially in front of other people. In a university atmosphere, educational atmosphere, social atmosphere, there will always be different situations that you'll be placed in regarding friendships, social interactions with other people, especially if you are pursuing organizations, clubs, and things of that nature. And the most important thing I would say to remember and consider when engaging with other people, building long-lasting relationships, is to recognize when you're doing things that are out of your character or that you would typically not do. In the university atmosphere, there are a lot of instances where people will test you, especially when it comes to organizations and clubs, and ask you to do certain things that you are not comfortable with in order to gain social acceptance or popularity on campus. And it's important to remember that you must remain true to yourself, whether or not you gain friendships. Although it is important to build those long-lasting relationships and business connections and take advantage of the people you meet while on campus, it is also important to be true to yourself and not do anything that will jeopardize who you are as a person. So definitely recognize toxic traits in others and don't be afraid to not be friends with someone or cut ties with someone if it's starting to become a detriment to your personal and emotional health.
So for tips for healthy friendships, one tip that I would say is to set and respect boundaries. This can look like not interrupting your personal time that you have set out for yourself, being mindful of your time and your friend's time in terms of like planning outings, like not being late, being considerate in your interactions, and just respecting each other, because respect goes a long way. Listening is another tip. No one wants a one-sided friendship, so it's important to be an active listener and support your friend through their issues and vice versa. Communication is always key. Communicating well, make time to talk in person, as a lot of communication is often lost through text. Resolve problems that may arise instead of letting things go on unresolved. Don't always have your friend reaching out to you first, because this can also go into the one-sided friendship, and reciprocation is key. Trust is also an important tip for maintaining a healthy friendship. Be truthful in your friendships and your interactions, because honesty goes a long way. Be the friend that you would want in life. If you don't appreciate flakiness and unreliability in your friendships, then you wouldn't want to be that person in your friendships. Support, which is often free. Show up to your friends' events, share their business info, just being a shoulder to lean on. And then lastly, compromise. Most healthy friendships require some sort of compromise, because you guys are not always going to agree and see eye to eye. How to balance school and work and your social life. So firstly, I would say that it's important to allot time for work and leisure, because these lines can often get blurred. So this can mean setting aside 4 hours or so. 4 hours is just a number. You could set aside 30 minutes, an hour, but there should just be a separation for having time to do work and then time to hang out with your friends, so that you're not overwhelmed with work or you're not slacking on work. Working in an environment that is not your home. Working in a library can be more productive, and then when you get home, you can relax without the association of school. If you're often doing your work in your bed, it can be hard to then relax in your bed, because you're now associating your bed with studying and work and stress. Joining clubs and organizations, because this is a great way to mix school and leisure. So if you're struggling with trying to find a life outside of school, maybe you could join a club or an organization so that you have a life outside of school while still being on campus and being in school. Also to prioritize. So for example, if you have a paper that's due at 11:59 and then you have a party that starts at 10, the paper probably wouldn't be a priority for that night. There should be an emphasis on self-care. If you're experiencing mental burnout or you feel yourself becoming ill, it's important to take the time to recover, because if not, then prevention is better than cure. So now you have to work through more feelings of being overwhelmed and stressed, and this can lead to self-destruction. Organization is key. Setting reminders, checking your emails, study timers all help, because having 5 classes, taking 6 classes a semester, it can be really hard to remember all of your assignments. And then say you go out on have an outing or have an event, and then you didn't set a reminder. Now you just forgot that you had a paper due. So organization helps a lot. Finding your tribe, being around a group of people or friends who you party with, yet you also find time to have study sessions. This can help maintain a balance, because say you're part of a friend group that's always asking you to go out, but then they never make time to study. So you might feel peer pressure to keep going out with them, even though your grades are slacking, as opposed to having friends who you go out with and then you guys still make time to study. And then lastly, it's okay to say no, and no is a complete sentence. So don't feel pressure to go to every party or event because you have something to prove, or because you feel like, the experience is going somewhere, because there is value in solitude and there is value in being alone.
So while balancing your work and social life is important, sometimes it's hard to balance your social life, because sometimes life gets really busy. You may have extra homework. You may have added another class to your schedule. There are people out here like hustling to graduate early. You may need to take on more hours at work. You may have gotten a promotion, joined a club, etc. Like something has been added to your schedule that's not there usually. So whatever it may be, like here are some tips on what to do and how not to lose close bonds in this time. So for starters, it's okay to prioritize yourself. Your education, finances, health, etc. should always be your main priority. Like you should be your main priority, and there's nothing wrong with it. But communication. So to maintain these friendships and these bonds, like if you absolutely will not have time, or if you have very little time to actually hang out, like take a brief moment to tell those that you talk to or hang out with frequently, because even though it's like we are getting older and people should understand, sometimes it's hard not to feel certain things are personal. So just so that they know it's not personal and that you just have stuff going on, communicate. Like I said, that gets rid of any confusion or room for assumption. And then as has been stressed throughout the rest of this plan is schedule. So like write out your schedule, give yourself a visual of what you have going on, so you can see when you have free time, if you have free time, things you need to prioritize, things you can push back, and then go ahead and like collaborate with your friends, see if your free time overlaps, and plan your hangouts. It's okay to be like, look, I only got like 2 hours to do something, so like maybe you go out for brunch or something like that, just sit and eat and then you leave. Like, but yeah, anytime you got to hang out and you want to use, plan it. It's okay. But it's also, we talked about earlier, losing friendships. It's okay to grow. So sometimes you outgrow your friends or they outgrow you, and what that really means is that people you become friends with when you're young may not be your friend forever, which again, it's okay. You end up taking different paths, you become different people as you grow, and the connection may change or fade. And it's not always personal, or the result would be, but sometimes it just happens. Like nothing truly significant happened where it was like, yeah, we're never gonna be friends again. It just happens. So sometimes your friends are holding you back, or vice versa. You could be holding them back. And losing friends does hurt, and it's okay to feel that pain. And sometimes it may simply just take a conversation to save that friendship or to end it peacefully and to find some sort of closure. So like if you do lose a friendship, you should definitely bow out gracefully. Like no love has to be lost. You don't have to be spiteful or rude or disrespectful, because it's all part of life. Unfortunately, like growth is part of life. You should be growing, and if that means that you lose friends along the way, it's okay.
Okay, so here's some questions that we came up with to ask you guys. You guys can unmute yourselves and answer. So the first one is, what is the longest friendship that you have ever had? What type of morals or values do you look for in friends? How do you balance your social life with other parts of your life now? How do you cope with the loss of a friendship? What do you expect your social life in college to be like? Like what kind of things you're looking forward to? What things you're afraid of? And what is your friendship language?
So let's focus on like one question. So we can start with people answering what is the longest friendship you ever had. Let's see, because I'm sharing my screen, I necessarily can't see the chat or anything, but feel free to use the chat. So we have friends from elementary school, 10 years. I'll answer as well, even as a panelist. My longest friendship, it sounds funny, but it's literally my whole life because I have a group of friends that our parents were a group of friends and they grew up together. So we were all raised together.
I think my longest friendship would have to be maybe my best friend Joshua from first grade. But I thought that I would have had the longest friendship, but you got me beat out. You got a whole life a whole life of friendship. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. What about you guys?
Listen, most of them are answering in the chat. I don't know if you all can see the chat on my screen because I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
I can see the chat. I saw elementary school and I saw 10 years. My longest friendship is also elementary school.
My longest friendship, I think, is like 6 years. We became best friends freshman year of high school. We've been friends ever since.
Mine is similar to Kayla too, freshman year of high school to now junior year of college.
I have a friend that I've been friends with since freshman year, but unfortunately she's not my longest friend. Okay, moving on to the next question. So what do you look for in a friend? It looks like the high school kids prefer to talk in the chat. So I'll verbally say, me personally, I'm pretty open-minded about my friends. So for the most part, the toxic traits that we talked about earlier, I just make sure like those aren't there. Like if it looks like everything's a competition, they're not really supportive and stuff like that, I'll know to stay away from them. But as far as like specifics in my friends, I'm really open.
I'll probably say the same. I don't have any specific things that I necessarily look for. I kind of meet you and we click and that's it. But if anything, I do kind of think about the different toxic traits that I wouldn't want in a friend. And if I realize that you exhibit any type of those traits, then I would start to distance myself from you.
I would say that I look for consistency in my friendships because I've been in a few one-sided friendships in my life. So I just look for a lot of, I'm not giving my all into the friendship and then my friend is not there for me. So I look for somebody who's like going to support me as much as I support them because I go really hard in my friendship. So it's easy to keep on becoming friends with people who like you give and they don't give anything back.
Yeah, I agree with that. I treat almost like you said. I can relate with that because I treat friendships almost like a family. If I call you a friend, then I'm gonna do whatever for you. So really, I look for that same, just really the same energy. You know, kind of energy, transparency, keeping it real at the end of the day. Because if you're my friend, I feel like we should be able to talk about whatever. We should be able to listen to each other about anything. Really, I look for in a friend is like during the toughest times, can you really like actually like sit down with me and have a conversation? Because everybody can be around when it's the fun time or this, that, and the other. But in college, you know, and my peers can say this, you know, you go through some tough stuff. Man, this week right, all the work and everything, you really see who your friends are and this, that, and the other because y'all see each other struggle together and work together. But if you guys can actually like stay, sit down and actually work as a group and, you know, understand each other's feelings accurately and really, you know, show relatability, I think that's the true sign of a good friendship.
I definitely agree. I would say also accountability and vulnerability. I like people who are like real and honest with you, who will tell you about yourself sometimes and will tell you about the people around you and are real and honest. Sometimes you need that person to be honest with you and say, you're not slacking, you're being lazy, you need to do this, this, and this. Sometimes growth includes pushing you, and not in a disrespectful or demeaning way, but just telling you, look, you're slacking, this is what you need to do, this is how you can pick yourself up and just like contribute to your growth important to you.
Anybody else want to tell us about what they look for in a friend? I see we have a few people that agreed in the chat. Okay, we can move on. So how do you balance your social life? Oh, no. Did you want to talk? Go ahead. No? Somebody was talking. Okay. So you go based. So the next question is, how do you balance your social life with other parts of your life now? Was anybody dying to start, or I'll kick it off. Okay, so okay, in the chat, okay, can someone else copy and paste the attendance link? We have people who just joined. In the chat, somebody else says, to be honest, I can balance my social life because usually my friends know when to really focus on priorities. That's good. Me personally, I have moments where I do really good at balancing both, and I have moments where it's almost like I say, okay, screw my friends, and like I stop texting back, I stop answering the phone, and all that because I work and I go to school. So full-time worker, full-time student, I get tired. It's like sometimes quite often I plan my day out like bumper to bumper. Like today, as soon as this presentation is over, I have to be at work. So because I plan my day bumper to bumper, it's like I legitimately then you have to plan phone calls, have to plan text messages. Like I'll see a text come up and they're like, you know, I'm gonna finish this, and then I'll respond to these text messages. And sometimes that doesn't happen because I have so much going on. And other times, as we mentioned before, with planning, I'm actually really good with planning. Because regardless, I plan, like I just said, I plan my day bumper to bumper. But I'm really good at planning, like, okay, I need to give myself time to get away from being completely serious and focusing on school and work all the time. So I'll take the time, make the time. Even with my friends, like we'll do study sessions together, like something where it's like I'm still with my friend.
It was freshman year. It was kind of difficult for me to balance my social life with like other parts of my life, and I believe that it is the college aspect because I kind of dealt with that a little bit this year too. Sophomore year being at home, I didn't really have an issue with it because you know I would just be doing work and I could call my friends and be like, all right, you want to go here, you want to play the game, this, that, and the other. But being on campus and knowing that it's a lot of things that could pull you each and every way, it's a little hard to balance. And as I said, the way I kind of plan my day, it do be kind of like right here I gotta do this and I'll be forgetting that I might have to go to work or I might have to go to a meeting or something like that. So it can get a little hectic sometimes, but I always try to do my best to reach out with friends and kind of plan things that we can do together so I don't get burnt out and I don't just seem like I'm working all the time or I'm kind of focusing on school all the time because without that I'm kind of missing out on the total experience of college and missing out on these because honestly the friends that you make here and the experience that you have here could shape you as a person, shape you as an individual. So I think it's really important that you kind of find a way to balance that and kind of get a nice medium or a nice just a nice base to kind of show that you know while I do have the social life and I do have other things because I'm a human, I do have a lot of things that could be going on. My friends and things they need me to. So just my thing would be don't forget about you know your people.
Anybody?
Okay, so personally for me, I try to incorporate my friends into my usual day. So I have classes online, even though I live on campus. And so we will do like different things. We go to the caf, get food together, whether it's like lunch or dinner. Sometimes we go to like the volleyball games, the basketball games, the football games. But usually whenever we know that we have events, we will like set aside like if the volleyball game is at 6 o'clock today, we know that we can head down to the study room, finish all of our assignments for the day, whatever work you have to do, we'll knock it out the park so that we can go to the volleyball game and have fun later on. I think that that's an important quality that you need to have, being able to realize that your work should and always come first. So just being able to have friends that recognize that same value, and just being able to understand that you can have fun while you're still in school, so that you maintain that chance of experiencing the full college experience.
I would say that I balance my social life with other parts of my life now by prioritizing self-care in my social life. Freshman year, I experienced severe burnout from always doing my work and always trying to keep up the 4.0, and I didn't have any social life whatsoever. I only did work, and it was a horrible experience for me. And after I had a mental breakdown, I said, okay, so I have to have a balance. So now I have clear-cut boundaries. I don't do like any work on weekends, like any. So if I don't finish an assignment, I try to allow all my time to finish my assignments during the week. And if they don't get finished past Friday, then I don't know. But I normally allot time so that doesn't happen until it gets finished during the week, because my Saturdays and Sundays, I don't want to have to do work on those days. And then in balancing, and then I also recently I stopped working as well, because I realized that that was becoming like a conflict too, like trying to have a full-time job in school and a social life. I just couldn't do it all. So now I feel like my balance is pretty good.
I definitely agree with what everyone else said in terms of just being very intentional with the reminders, the note taking, and planning everything. I definitely have a planner. I'm very serious about doing things at a certain time. Of course, it can get difficult when you take into account work and self-care, but I used to be very, very bad at it freshman year and even sophomore year when the pandemic first started, just not putting myself first. I would pull all-nighters, even little things like making sure you're drinking enough water, eating at a certain time. You have to really put yourself before your homework sometimes, not in the sense of neglecting what you need to do, your responsibilities, but just make sure you are good and you are planning everything and even accounting for self-care within your productive everyday life, because as long as you're good, you're going to be able to perform better. So I would just say prioritize yourself and then plan everything accordingly.
All right. Anybody else before we move on? Okay, so how do you cope with the loss of a friendship? I can start again. Me personally, I am pretty nonchalant. Most times, after I say I don't care, I probably don't. But personally, I'm not venture, so I'm not going to probably vent about it to another friend. I may write about it, or if I truly feel like that friendship should have ended, I may try to reach out one more time, like try to save it. But as far as coping, I don't know, because I don't delete memories. But until like it's not okay, so I don't delete memories if they're good enough. Where like say like I don't know, if we didn't end too bad, I probably won't delete the memories. Like I said, I'm nonchalant. So legitimately, most times I don't care. And it sounds like I don't care about my friendship, but that's not true, because I'm the only child. So I actually do value my friendships more than anything, because like once we get close, you pretty much become family. Like my female friends are my sisters, my male friends are my brothers. And when I say like I mean that wholeheartedly, like blood could make us any thicker. So like yeah, it bothers me, but like I don't harp on it that long.
For me, like you said, I'm kind of nonchalant. I'm kind of nonchalant with relationships, like just relationships in general. It could be family, friends, romantic, anything like that. I'm just kind of like a go with the flow type person. But when you lose someone that lose a friendship or a bond that you were kind of close with, it could kind of put some type of strain on you, mental strain, emotional strain. But I feel like the best way to cope with it is if you can't, like you said, you can't forget those experiences. You can't delete those experiences from your mind. You can focus on the good, the bad, the really everything that was brought. Because really, what you get from that is a lesson. At the end of the day, it's just a lesson on life, a lesson on what to do in the next friendship, next relationship, and you just treat it how it is. It doesn't have to be a whole big thing. It doesn't have to be just anger, this, that, and other. Because at the end of the day, people do grow apart, and that's one aspect that you'll see. I'm sure they can attest to. Freshman year, you might have been making all the friends. Freshman week, you might have been making a whole bunch of friends, and this, that, and the other. But those people you might not even talk to those people at all right now. And it may seem like grew apart, like what happened, is that and other. But at the end of the day, it's just life at that. So you shouldn't let anything like that bring you down. Because at the end of the day, there'll be many people that come in and out your life, and your best focus should always be yourself.
I agree that your best focus should always be yourself. I would say that I normally take the loss of friendships really hard, because I maintain the same friends for years. I don't really fall out with my friends, especially like over like something small. And I'm always trying to like fix. So even if I feel like it's something that can be fixed, I'm still gonna like try really hard to fix it, especially because I value all my friendships. So I don't like losing friendships. I take them like really harshly. I honestly think that losing a friend sometimes can be more stressful and like impacting than losing a relationship. So I don't know. I do take the loss pretty hard. I try not to like lose friendships in general. I try to salvage them if they can be salvaged. But if they are lost, I just try to tell myself, well, like you tried your best to fix it, or maybe like this person didn't serve a purpose in your life anymore. Because I have to remember that like your friends are not always in your life forever. Sometimes people come for a season. Sometimes they might come for just something that you need in your life at that moment, and they help you get through that. But that doesn't mean that you guys are supposed to be like friends until the end of time.
I definitely agree. I would also say to allow yourself to feel your emotions. Me, sometimes I try to act like I don't care or that it doesn't affect me, but I feel like after a while, if you don't really recognize and understand your feelings, it can come across as bitterness and resentment later on. So I would say definitely to feel your emotions, and then to make a pros and cons list and recognize also where you went wrong. Like maybe both individuals were not adding to each other. Maybe you did certain things that weren't healthy for the friendship, and how you both contributed to it ending. And just understand that maybe the best way for you to be their friend is to not be their friend anymore, because you guys aren't as compatible or healthy for each other as you thought or assumed in the beginning.
All right. So I stopped sharing my screen because I did mention that I do have to go to work, unfortunately. The next question is, what do you expect your social life in college to be like? Things you're looking forward to or afraid of? Now, this question is not clearly for us, it's more so for those of you who joined to watch with us today. So we appreciate if you all would answer, unmute. It's okay to talk. Nobody's gonna judge your voice. If you stutter, it's okay. This is a safe space. But yeah, this is definitely a question for you all.
Okay, so Amir said, I'm just scared to enter the real world, but it's something I asked for, so no worries. I agree. I mean, even in my junior year of college, I'm still scared to enter the real world. Like after graduation, that's like you entering the real world and like having a career per se, not really a job, having to balance paying rent, which I'm struggling to do now. Like it's just, I don't know, it's just a lot that comes with it. And I would just say like I try to remember that you gotta just take it one day at a time and that everything doesn't have to be like figured out. And also see I'm a senior in high school, by the way. So any advice? I'm sure we have a lot of advice to give.
Yeah, when I was a senior in high school, I was super afraid of the real world, and that has not changed right now. As I go get deeper into I don't know if I would like to say scared, anxious, or anything of that nature. I guess I'm excited for the future. I remember those same feelings in high school. I remember the day that I got accepted into Howard. My whole class started jumping up and this, that, and the other, celebrating. And in my head, like everything was, and around me, everything was happy. But in my head, I'm like, oh man, I'm really about to take a step into adulthood, really. And like you said, all these things that you have to deal with, as an adult, rent, with school, your academics, and in a couple of years, most of us, we're gonna be stepping into the real world. So I don't think that you should be really afraid of that real world. Get into it, but it does take a little adjusting and everything. And really, when you go in, I would just stress really that you focus on your academics and everything, but don't let school work you. Don't let the university work you. You work the university. You just do you at the end of the day, because it's your life, your experience, and everything will shake out at the end. Because I'm sure you're intelligent. Sure, you're gonna put your best foot forward. You just gotta focus on making those right decisions, and with the L's you take, you learn from them and don't let them mold you. You let them just show you the right path for the future.
Personally, I understand being scared to enter the real world, and I feel like that's why it's important to step into college with an open mind. Because you realize that little things really do matter, whether it's laundry, cooking, cleaning, like a lot of things are sort of time consuming, and they're things that you don't really think would be time consuming, or things that I don't want to say don't matter, but things that you haven't really thought about when you consider the real world. But when you start living on your own, you have your own dorm, you start realizing that a lot of these different things play into your life as well as your well-being. Because even for some cases, like even for me, if there was a day where I let my room go messy, I realized that I started slacking in school, things start not going well. You keep yourself together, you make yourself a priority. You put yourself first, and you realize that a lot of the things around you are gonna continue to fall into place. But I'm still scared to enter the real world, if to be honest. I think about my future, my career path, where I'm gonna go, where I might end up, and all of it is anxious. But I feel like life is a learning, it's a journey. So you just gotta take it one step at a time. Be appreciative of the experiences that you're making right now, the friends that you have, the things that you have going on around you, and just try not to take anything for granted. Because 10 years from now, when you're working at 9 to 5, do whatever you want to do, you're gonna look back on these college experiences, and you're either gonna be happy that you went out and you tried new things, you stepped outside of your comfort zone, or you can sit back and be like, damn, well, I wish I would have spent more time with my friends, or I wish I would have did this, I wish I would have did that. So don't let those 10 years run by and then you're sitting there regretting things that you didn't do. So just make the use of every experience that you have, but remember that your priority should always be yourself and your schoolwork first.
I definitely agree with what everyone mentioned, especially what Alicia said about taking everything one day at a time. For me, I definitely recognize with the anxiety and the stress, but I also take comfort from the fact that there's no particularly correct way to go about doing this. Adulthood is very scary. Having real responsibilities is very scary, but that's not something that even our parents or each other can necessarily prepare us for, because everyone is on their own individual, unique paths towards success and greatness. But I would definitely just say to remain true to yourself. And I think looking back also helps before looking forward. Like if you think about who you were or how you felt when you entered high school, and you look to yourself now and you see the growth from freshman year of high school to senior year of high school, you can kind of recognize when you were anxious, when you felt like you were not good enough and scared freshman year of high school. And now you're a senior, now you're applying to college, now you have more stability and more consistency and more belief in yourself. So if you see that growth within that short period of 4 years and look back at that, you can kind of feel more comfortable looking 4 years into the future, because you look back and you realize, hey, in freshman year of high school, I was not that confident, I was not that secure. But now senior year, I've completed these 4 years with consistency and with maturity. So although you don't know what necessarily will happen in college, your ability to recognize your growth from freshman year of high school to senior year of high school is something that you can use to kind of comfort you looking forward and understanding, okay, I don't know how these 4 years are going to go, how these 10 years are going to go, but I know that I have the discipline to complete them correctly and with faith.
And as we wrap up our presentation, thank everybody for coming and listening. Our last question would be, what is your friendship language? For me, ain't no problem. Thanks for listening. It's just simple advice. But what will be your friendship language? I believe. Let me ask my peers. Would friendship language be connected to like the words, affirmation, things like that? I feel like y'all know more about that.
I would say friendship language is essentially the same way you ask what is your love language. So like, how do you connect with your friends? Like your love language, like if in relationship, your love language could be touch. It could be the same with friends. Like you might like an affectionate friend, but well, for girls, you might like an affectionate friend. The guys, I agree with that. But yeah, that's like what the question is.
Yeah. So I would say. All right. So I'm gonna need I'm not into it. I'm gonna need what's the four? It's words, affirmation. Then
Quality time,
touch, gift giving.
Yeah, acts of service.
I would probably say I would say I'm maybe a mix, maybe a dominant with not gift giving. It might be quality time. Yeah, quality time would probably be my best one, because I feel like the quality time, kind of like spending time with someone, especially what I learned on campus. Spending time with a friend. Really, well, you don't even have to do much. Just spending that time. I'll go out to the monuments. Well, here we kind of go out to the monuments, or go get something to eat, or just tour around DC, or just do random things. Having that kind of comfortability with a person and actually enjoying someone in that nature, kind of it relaxes you a little bit. And I feel like with all my friends, even ones back at home, back in Indiana, I feel like that's really pretty much like how I connect with people, just being comfortable and actually seeing like if I could chill with you and not do nothing, or chill with you and we just playing Mario Kart or something, and we just having a good time, like that just shows me like you're a true friend, or somebody that I can truly enjoy, somebody I could just really vibe with.
So personally for me, I would say that my friendship language is acts of service and quality time. So I really like to cook. So what I do is I cook for my friends, whether it's like breakfast, lunch. Sometimes we do midnight brunch. We do like different stuff. Sometimes we all pitch in, cook different stuff. We all come together. We sit, we eat it. We play on the Switch, watch TV, watch movies. Like for Halloween, we had a movie night. We made like Halloween cookies, made different snacks, and then we sat down. We had like a movie marathon. So just like spending time with each other, doing things for each other, just giving us a chance to connect. I feel like each of us brings something different to the table, which is what makes our experiences so fun. Makes it fun to be around each other.
For me, my friendship language would probably be the same as he said. It's more so like quality time. Like, so I'm a happy medium because I'm a quiet person most of the time. But once I start talking, I don't stop. Like, yeah, no, you gotta say something because I'll definitely keep going. So I'm that friend. Like, we can, but I can enjoy the silence with you. Like, we can really just sit there and be chilling. Like, we can be sitting there on our phones just sharing like TikToks or memes or something like that. I do like my friends. I've started to like do adulty things, so like we try to do brunch and like getting dressed up and going out to eat and stuff like that. So yeah, so essentially it's quality time, and it's not even just like physical because my quality time. I'm not affectionate. Like I don't like friends that like to hug me and like don't kiss me cheek like all the time. Like I'll take it every here and there, like I accept every here and there, but that's really like not my forte. But ironically, all like half the people I meet be super affectionate, and half of them share the way I feel. But yeah, definitely not affectionate. So yeah, mine's quality time, and the quality time doesn't have to be in person. Like I'm a FaceTime friend. You can really sit on FaceTime. I'll do anything on FaceTime because you don't always have to be on the camera. So like some of my friends, we do homework together on FaceTime. That's how I'm presenting now, like on my way to work. Honestly, if I wasn't presenting now, I probably would be on the phone with a friend. I keep them on the phone when I go to work sometimes. They do the same week. Like I'll shower, get dressed. I'll do everything like on the phone. So yeah, like I'm really a FaceTime quality time friend.
I definitely agree with what everyone else mentioned when it comes to quality time and acts of service. Time is very precious. Everyone is very busy and always on the go. So I definitely appreciate when someone, not even just like, we don't even have to be doing anything per se, but just having someone's presence can definitely help with what everyone else mentioned when it comes to stress and anxiety. And me, I'm a very attentive and thoughtful friend. So I appreciate when people are attentive and thoughtful with me, not even necessarily anything expensive or out over the top. The other day, my friend wasn't feeling well, and I had like a little care package delivered to her with like tea bags and like halls and stuff like that. Just kind of having that shoulder to lean on, and noticing when someone needs help or remembering something someone said and bringing it up later. That means that you're truly attentive to the things that are going on in your friend's life and are actively working towards making them feel loved and cherished. So I would definitely say quality time and acts of service.
I agree. I'm a super thoughtful friend as well. And quality time, and I wouldn't really say acts of service, but I would definitely say quality time is also like my friendship language. I like to go out to eat a lot with my friends. And I just want a friend who like has no problem like doing nothing with me. Like we don't really have to say anything. My friend can just sit there on like one end of the bed and I'm on my end of the bed and we're like both on Twitter and it'll be dead silent until we like laugh at something and like share a tweet. But like just having them there is like good enough for me.